You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona.
Hey, boy, that went so fast. I was totally unprepared. Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Another manic Monday for me. Welcome to the Question Reality Radio Show. We are coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. And I am Priscilla Leona, the creator and the producer of the show, and also the host. And along with our favorite Batman cave technical director, Albert Biko, who makes things happen back there. Let me tell you a little bit about our show in case you haven't been here before. For over 20 years, we've been providing listeners in the entertainment industry entertainment career advice. And this show is for you if you are questioning your career reality, about possibly pursuing a career in the entertainment industry, or if you're already working in the entertainment industry and you just want some tips and advice to elevate your career, make it to the next level, move on up to the east side. Yes, that's what we do here. That's what our guests do. Some of the guests on our show have included Oscar nominees. We've had Emmy winners, Grammy winners, Tony Award winners, reality TV stars. I gotta say they're my faves. What a big reality TV fanatic I am, especially 90 Day Fiance and Love Before Lockup. Yes, don't judge me. You learn a lot of stuff watching these shows. I can deliver a baby. I can actually do pimple popping. Yes. Oh, I can tell you the stuff I've learned watching these shows. We have film and TV, radio, music, theater producers and directors. We have casting directors. We have talent agents. Casting directors, talent. Yeah, I said that right. Talent agents. We have PR agents. We have talent managers, publicists, screenwriters, authors, writers, novelists, which are not necessarily the same thing. I get a lot of questions about that. We have actors, and we have singers and dancers and models, and we have musicians, and we have bands too. We get bands on here. Yeah, we squeeze them in. We have comedians, script supervisors. I like to do a lot of behind the scenes people, because people come out here to be stars and celebrities, and they find out that they love doing the job of a script supervisor. I've had that happen like 3 or 4 times. It's amazing. Interesting. We have celebrity makeup artists. We have celebrity fashion designers, entertainment lawyers. The list just goes on and on and on. Basically, if they're working in the entertainment industry, I am going to lasso those little suckers onto this show just so you can find out all about the trials and tribulations of pursuing a career in the entertainment industry and what their job entails and how to do it. So we get tips, advice, and resource information. We motivate, inspire, and educate. That's what I want to do. It's what I've been doing over 20 years. So hopefully I can continue doing it. Now, I would love for you to follow us, because if you missed any of our past shows, here are some ways that you can watch us. Number one, you can go to our official website, which is questionrealityradioshow.com. You can watch us on Question Reality Radio Show on Facebook, and our social media. We're on, I think I'm verklempt over here. You're going to hear me going, it's tacky, but what am I going to do? I'm so verklempt. I don't know what it is. I think because when you drink a lot of milk, you get that, let's not use the nasty word, but I'm going to use it. Phlegm. You got phlegm. It's a medical term. And I think that's what I did. Excuse me, I'm going to die before we finish the interview today. I feel it coming on. You're going to watch a live death. Okay, so go to our website, questionrealityradioshow.com, and you can watch the videos. They're posted on the 2024 schedule next to the guest. We have at Question Reality Radio Show on Facebook. You can watch it live there. And then on our social media pages, YouTube, you can watch it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Oh my God, that sounds like a porno site. LinkedIn. I think I just gave somebody an idea to create a soft core porn site. LinkedIn.com. I didn't mean to do that, but what are you going to do? LinkedIn, Twitter, which is now X. Now, all of these are under Priscilla Leona, my name. Which brings me to my tip for the week, as it is every week, because I'm going to drill it in. I'm going to drill it. And hopefully if one person follows this advice and becomes an A-list celebrity, I will be happy. Branding. Please, when you are pursuing a career in the entertainment industry, actually in everything you pursue, you need to keep your branding consistent so that people can find you on the browsers and on the social media sites. Usually you want to choose your name, but if you have a common name, you can add your middle initial or the actual whole name. You can add John Smith actor, John Smith singer, something like that. But please don't go, I get my groove on Friday nights. Something cute. It's just going to ruin your reputation. It's just going to just destroy it. People cannot find you under these things. And so people continue to do it thinking that they are going to get a cute name. It's going to stand out. But professionals look at that and go, nope, next. Just telling you, been doing this for many, many years. My friends are all A-list casting directors, producers, and they say as soon as we see things like that, we go next. So just telling you. Now, favor. We very kindly ask that if you like our show and our guests, that you please help us out by subscribing to our YouTube channel and also following us on all the social media sites, which, as I said, are Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, you name it. Excuse me. Go there, follow us, and you know what? We will follow you back. Now, that is a great trade, right? Everybody says, oh, follow me, subscribe, but nobody offers to do it back for you. And I thought, that's what's going to help, offering to follow people back. So that's a little tip for you too. If you want people to subscribe to your channel and follow you, say, hey, you know what? If you follow me, I promise that I will follow you back. And never, ever break a promise. I'm very big on that. So, two tips today. We're winning here. Winning. Booked. Let's see. How can you be booked on our show? Well, we usually are booked 6 months to a year in advance. I was booking a year in advance, but it turns out that when I book bands or some film people, by the time their date comes along, they're on tour, which is just what happened recently with a band that I booked. They're now on tour. Didn't tell me that. But it happens. I'm used to it. So now we're booking just 6 months in advance. So if you want to be booked as a guest on the show, or refer someone to showcase their themselves or their products or their projects, or just help listeners by providing sage advice, then we ask you to email me directly at priscillaleona@yahoo.com. PriscillaLeona@yahoo.com. Or you can go to our official website, which is questionrealityradioshow.com, and submit. It's a really easy, quick process. Go to the contact link and just your name and your email and your website. And that's it. And then, upcoming shows. Why do I have that? Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. On the website, questionrealityradioshow.com. If you go to our 2024 schedule, you will be able to see all of the upcoming exciting people on the show. And let me just, I got to tell you about some people that are coming on that I think, this is very, very important if you are pursuing a career in the entertainment industry as an actor or a musician. Because let's see, we have, or a fashion designer. On April the 1st, we have celebrity fashion designer Bernie Martin. He has had his stuff shown, his clothing, I should say, shown at the Oscars one year, I believe. And on April the 8th, we have, I love this guy. He is an A-list casting director. His name is Alan Hooper. You might know him from casting Modern Family for all those years and Superior Donuts and just a whole bunch of stuff. He's casts everything. And then very exciting, my very good friend, Mary Lou Belli. She is probably up to 5 times, a 5-time primetime Emmy winning director. And she's right now she's casting the Miss Pat show, but you might know her work from NCIS New Orleans. Just go on imdb.com and look up, excuse me, Mary Lou Belli, and you will see all of her A-list credits. And again, she is a multi-primetime Emmy-winning director. And very exciting, we have on April 22nd, Miss Arizona. Yes, we do. Tasha Dixon. That's going to be very exciting. Who doesn't want to meet a beauty queen, especially my male audience? And I'm so excited. April 29th. My friend, Michael Orland. Who's Michael Orland? Michael Orland was the musical director for American Idol for 16 years, and he is coming on to give tips, advice, and resource information on how you can make it in the world of music. And then Mary Lou, Tasha will be giving advice about how to join beauty pageants or pageantry work, or maybe tips. We don't know what we're going to ask her. I make it up on the day up because, I like to keep it fresh. But Mary Lou Belli is very good if you want to pursue a career as a television director. She gives great advice. So go to my website and mark your calendars. Okay, that is it. We are on for the exciting part of the show. It is going to be to tell you a little bit about our sexy guy. Now, you know me. You know I love a sexy man. I have all my minions out there looking for the sexy men to bring on the show. And tonight is no exception. We've had him on the show several times. I've been trying to snag him to come to LA, which he has a couple of times, but our schedules have conflicted. But one day we're going to make it happen. Little sexy thing. I want to put him. He's like a little sprinkle on a donut for me. His name is Rico Mangram, but he goes as Rico No Suave. Look at that. Isn't he beautiful? I want to just bite his cheeks. I'm biting him now. I'm biting him, Rico. So Rico No Suave Mangram. He is a chef and a talk show host and an MC and executive producer. And I want you to go to his website. It's the RicoNoSuaveShow.com. Excuse me. I am going to be coughing. I apologize. Let me try to take a little let me try to take a little cough drop. I don't know what's going on over here. It's so dry in LA. It's dry right now. Again, the website is the RicoNoSuaveShow.com. You also can find him on all the social media sites at Rico. Let's see, YouTube. Let's do the YouTubes. YouTube, Rico No Suave Show on YouTube. Let's see if he kept it consistent and followed my format. Let's see. All right, YouTube, Rico No Suave Show. Yes. YouTube, Cooking with Rico Show. Yes. Facebook, Rico Suave Show. Yes. Check. Instagram, Rico No Suave Show is one of the Instagrams. And his other one is Cooking with Rico Show. Look at him following all of the tips. Not that he got them from me. I believe he knew this on his own, but he is whipping it up right. Now, Rico No Suave Mangram, he has a dynamic talk show called, obviously, Rico No Suave, where he interviews guests from all walks of life, and he brings about. I've watched this show. It is just electrifying. It's an electrifying show. And Rico is dynamic. He's entertaining. He's sparky and spunky. And he has a really sharp wit, which I love in a man, in anyone, especially men. You know what a pervert I am, everybody. But I like how he has direct questions. And his direct questions infuse high voltage energy into every conversation, turning his interviews into really robust and synergistic dialogues. And he likes to delve really deep into their personal and professional realms. I don't dig too deep in personal. I like to keep it light, but I do appreciate a person who can do that and keep it flowing. And he really has that natural gift of being a talk show host that can do that. I have been keeping my fingers crossed, actually everything crossed, my eyes and ears. I don't think you can cross your ears, but my eyes and fingers and toes and legs that he gets a late night talk show, because I'm telling you, I loved Arsenio Hall. I can totally see him as a Arsenio Hall too. I hope that doesn't offend him, but I love that man so much, and I just thought he brought so much to television, and I can really see him doing that. I hope that works out for him. And he has some other podcast shows. He's extremely ambitious. I love it. His other podcast shows are Cooking with Rico, and I did not know initially that he was just a culinary wizard. But when you watch this show, you're going to step into his culinary world. And he calls it, of course, obviously, Cooking with Rico, where he whips up these tantalizing recipes, and he has these tender demonstrations reminiscent of what he likes to call lovemaking. So I don't know. We're going to talk to him about that. I know cooking is sexy, but I'm wondering how far he goes. I just want to know how he whips that into the conversation. Now, the second show he has is called, actually third, is Cooking with a Cause. And this is a new mission that Rico is on to make a difference with this show. It's a groundbreaking show that pairs celebrity cooking assistants with Rico to serve up delicious meals at shelters and churches and senior homes. And that, my God, must spread joy and just really adds culinary diversity, because I do believe that he can cook all different types of culinary cuisine. Um, I know he has a specialty, I believe, but we'll find out. But I think that he's bringing a whole bunch of different culinary diversity. And the last show is called NASCAR Moment. And Rico introduces the NASCAR moment within his show, and he offers viewers a pulse on the latest racing updates and affairs. Who knew? Did not know that my little Rico was a NASCAR fanatic. So that's something new that we're going to talk about. And with each episode, apparently Rico's commitment to keeping his show fresh and engaging just shines through. And it ensures an unforgettable experience for the audience. And I can believe that that actually is true, because I have been on his show. He's been on my show a couple of times. And I believe every single thing that I just researched and read to you. I do believe that. So, without further ado, let's bring that little hottie on. Welcome, Rico! Rico no Suave!
How you doing, love?
I'm telling you, I'm out of breath. You got a long damn bio going on, doing
I
all
didn't.
kinds of stuff. I honestly don't know why you haven't had a meltdown yet. I mean, that sounds like a nervous breakdown waiting to happen with all that stuff. Wow.
Oh my God.
I tell you, but I think you're just used to that. When I was doing my research on you, I know you're a native of Chicago, and those people have like energy out the wazoo. I don't know. It must be the cold, brisk weather over there. But you grew up on the South Side,
Yeah.
and in a musical family.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Eventually finding your rhythm and salsa dancing. So tell me about when Rico was a little boy. Tell me what it was like living in your family, in a musical family.
My father, rest in peace. He was a jazz player where he played, Latin jazz, as well as, he played just piano. And then of course he went to the gospel route. So he started playing gospel. So he started playing Christian music as far as a piano player, but he was big time jazz though, big time jazz, where him and Ramsey Lewis was very good friends. And I was a little kid. I was a little kid just listening to my father. My mom was a singer, so my mom actually was singing, and she would sing around the house, and it would just the melody of everything that she actually had. We would just dance. And coming up as a young boy, I actually came up with a hyper family. I mean, our family was hyper. We danced a lot, we laughed a lot, we joked a lot, and when we got serious, it's like really deep. It's almost as if you had like the happiness, and then where it really gets deep is when you get serious, and you can definitely tell that the emotion is definitely there, because we like laugh hard, but then we love deeply hard, as well as when we're serious as well too. So growing up in a musical family, you get the genres of all different types of music that you get accustomed to. And for me, it was, of course, it was always feeling out the beat, the rhythm, right, the rhythm of everything. So of course, growing up, when I had my first car, it was a 1979 Chevy Malibu, and music, we always played loud music. It was just because the vibrant of the music just kept me going. And I think because of during that time, they knew that Rico was coming when they actually heard my car coming. And it was had the windows down, of course, in the summertime. And it was just more of letting people know how happy you can actually be as far as with music. So growing up in a family disciplined me in a way of making sure that I take that out to the world, where people know that if you pull up on the side of me, I'm playing some music, I want you to smile with me and dance in your car. So
Now,
yeah.
don't tell me you have one of those cars that like thumped up and down like they had
No,
it.
no, the hydraulics.
Yeah, the hydraulics. You had the music and the
No,
hydraulics.
I didn't have
Oh.
that. No, not at all.
So that music was jazz, but you said that it eventually found you pursuing rhythm and salsa dancing. But before the salsa dancing, I
Yeah.
think you pursued a diesel engineering career.
So yeah, wow, you took me back. Yeah, so in my diesel engineering, um, like at first when I was going through college, I wanted to actually work on planes and trains. That was one of my big thing. And when I actually was doing that, I went to college and then I saw a computer that was open, and it automatically just changed my ways. Like, what is that? It was like an old school computer, and you saw it, and I'm like, what is that? And it was like a bright light just falling out of the air like an angel. And I'm like, I want to work on that. So I changed it to computer science. But diesel engineering, I always want to work on because I love planes. Whenever I see a plane, I'm always looking up. I said, man, I got to be up there. I got to be up there. I got to go to my next city. So, yeah.
So you didn't start saving for your Cessna, huh?
No.
No. One day you'll have a Cessna. And so then you are saying, did you end up graduating with a degree in
Yeah, with computer science.
science?
Yeah, and then I came back and did a trade. I came back and did a trade. At back then it was called Computer Learning Center. Because in school it wasn't how can I say it? It wasn't a way of, in college, it was just more book knowledge. It wasn't more of, here's your hands on a computer. You were typing on a computer, but you wasn't really doing too much.
Right.
And then I came back and I actually went to get my certificate from Computer Learning Center.
Yeah. So then you went to work in the IT world.
Yeah.
What was that like? I mean, with
Ooh,
you knowing who you are today,
sure.
did that make you feel stagnant working that Monday through Friday 9 to 5?
No, not necessarily. No, I think, IT is always a good love, because what it did for me was it helped me troubleshoot humans, right? And it also helped me understand people problems, because every problem came to me when something is broke, I had to fix it. And I think for me, it was more of me trying to make sure that whatever I was troubleshooting what the user was doing,
Yeah.
and then I will fix what the user was doing in order to make it right. So when it came to that process, it really disciplined me a lot. It taught me a lot as well too when it came to IT. Yeah.
So it helped you keep focused and organized, because being an entrepreneur that you are today, I mean, you have to have the basic skills of
Yes.
organization and being able to understand business, and you
Correct.
just have to. I mean, you can be an artist, but if you just want to be an artist and not deal with the reality of business, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And so many celebrities who lost all their money, but we won't talk. So you're working in your IT world,
Sure.
and then you discovered a passion for salsa dancing.
Yeah.
Apparently, you became a master salsa dancer, and that ignited a teaching career at a nightclub. So, what does that mean? You went and taught salsa dancer at a nightclub?
So at first it was more of me just dancing salsa. Remember I was dancing ever since I was little, but when it was time for me to go and someone approached me and say, "Hey, everyone here, you've been dancing for quite some time. People love to see you dance. Have you thought about teaching?" And I was nervous, because, at first it was like 30 people in a class. It was my first class, 30 people in my class. And I had a dance partner, Isabella, and she came in. She came in to help as well too. And then we kind of formed that group called How to One Salsa. But I think when I was nervous, I asked my dad. I said, "Papa, what do you think?" And he was like, "I think you should do it. I think the reason why you should do it is because you have the passion. You're funny like me." And I'm like, "And you have the great looks like me." I was like, "Dad, come on. I appreciate you. I appreciate you." And he said, "Yeah, I think you should. I'm gonna push you to be able to do it." So my dad said, "Go right ahead and do it." And I took that first step, and people congratulated me afterwards, and they knew that I was nervous because I was sweating. Oh my goodness. It was like you were talking like really super fast, and I was trying to slow it down because I had so many things that I had to do, and I was like, and yeah, but it was good though. It felt good. It felt good after the first one, and then they just continued to ask me to come back and do it again.
And because of this Hot on One Salsa, this it cultivated a renowned dance group.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
you did you take that dance group into the wedding events and
No.
special occasions?
Well, technically, yes. Technically, yes, because when I started getting into the weddings, because I was teaching for so long,
Mm.
one of my students came and asked me, "Hey, can you do a salsa class at my wedding reception? I just want to get the people dancing." I was like, "Okay." I said, "Sure." So I went there and I did the class. Now I did it just as if I was doing any other class, right? And
Mhm.
by then, I think, man, I think I want to say I was like maybe like 6 or 7 years in,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. It was amazing. And someone came and asked, "Hey, would you like to be an MC? Or would you I think you
Mm.
should be an MC." It was a DJ that was there, and he said, "Hey, I think you should be an MC." And once again, there's a nervous standpoint of things. And I was like, "Well, I don't know. I don't know." I was like, "I don't know." Then he said, "You should try it." So then I did. I'm like, "Okay, let's go." So I tried it. I was nervous, fumbled a little bit, and then the MC thing just took off from there. So yeah.
So what did you have to do as an MC? Is that putting all the how do you figure out what songs to do? And what do you get together with the coordinator, and how does that work? I always wondered how the hell does that work?
So with an MC, one of the things is that, remember, the MC is the one that makes all of the announcements. You know that from like
Right,
celebrities when they get
right,
an announced and things like that. In the back
right.
end, there is always a timeline, right? There's a timeline of the events by, point A, point B, point C,
Yeah,
point D, right? So
right.
for me, the DJ is the one that actually usually have to worry about the music when I'm just the MC. I'm
Ah,
just the one to introduce the bridal party. Then I introduce the wedding couple. Then I introduce the cake, the first dances, the toasting, and then
okay.
I'm out there as far as making sure that everyone has a great time dancing, which I already know about, right? So which is
Yeah,
good, right?
right. So I guess you were getting out there and kind of doing a little salsa,
Yeah,
a
I was doing
couple
this
licks in the salsa, right?
exactly.
Keep them
Yes,
happy, and I would imagine you had to add some jokes.
yes.
Keep
You
it
got to
keep
act
it
jokes.
fun. And
Yes.
now, out of that, all
Yeah.
of those experiences, I think you wrote a book called "Rock Your Weddings,"
Yes.
right? Now, what inspired that, and how? Who was that gear? Who was the audience, and how do you rock a wedding?
So I think because of the stamina that I have when it comes to the energy of doing a wedding, a lot of the weddings of newcomers, new weddings, newlyweds, people that's getting into the business needs to understand the importance of each piece of the puzzle to be able to make it a really nice dream wedding or a special wedding. And one of the things is I talk about, hey, this is what you need as a DJ. This is what you need as a photographer. This is what you need as a videographer. This is what you need as a wedding coordinator, a wedding planner. And these are the things that you want to look out for when it comes to everybody putting things together. And to rock the wedding, you got to make sure that everyone is doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing at all times. So I wrote the book because, you know, someone came and asked me, would you want us to write a book for you? And then they said, because you're in the name of the company is Special Occasion Events, I said, sure, let's do it. So they wrote the book, and man, it was good. Then they put it up on Amazon, and you know, I
Is
had the
it
book
still in
out there.
print? It's
It
still
is.
in print.
It's not in print, but it's online,
It's online. A Kindle
like
version.
Kindle.
Kindle. Okay,
Yep.
because I have to get that. My cousin is getting married in Italy, and I think that would be a nice little gift for her.
Awesome.
Don't you think that would be good?
I think so. I think it will give them tips in regards to what they need to look out for. I think that will definitely help them to help if they're trying to plan. And that's a problem because sometimes, you know, wedding couples like to plan their own wedding, and then
Yeah.
sometimes they miss a certain thing or they miss certain things, and they really can't enjoy their wedding because they don't have someone doing it for them.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm going to get that book too because I throw a lot of events, birthday parties, nonstop. And I think I could apply that. I don't think it just would be for weddings. I think I
Sure.
could find a lot of useful information for any event.
Exactly.
Just substitute and swap things out.
That's correct.
Woo! I'm going to
Yes.
get your book. Now, I just wish I could get an autographed copy.
Yeah. I'll come there directly and sign it for you.
Yeah, sign my Kindle. How's that gonna work? All right. Now, so the book. Do you plan on writing any other books in the future about
Yeah.
anything? Have you
I
thought
think I think for
like
my
maybe
life,
a cookbook?
yeah, cookbook is definitely in play. Cookbook is definitely in play, and you know, big shout out to Beatrice for that because she was the one that says, I think you need to definitely put the cookbook together,
Yeah.
and you know, put the ones that you actually put together, and some that's dearest to you. You know, maybe from when you were growing up, and things that you eat, you know, that you ate, and then go from there. So that's definitely in the horizons as well.
I like that. Now okay, let's go back to all right, you're doing your events, your salsa and around town. And so these appearances, they I guess you collaborated with a dance partner you had at the
Yes.
time.
Mhm.
Valerie, who I met,
Yep.
lovely
Mhm.
girl.
Yeah.
Valerie Marino. So she was your salsa partner. So
Yes.
I guess a lot of people kept coming up to you. And how did that happen? You and Valerie out there salsa dancing, and what did people just keep coming up and say, "Hey, you
Yeah.
need to have a talk show"? I mean, how did it happen from
Well,
salsa dancing?
I think because of when Isabella left, she actually left to go to California, but she also went back to go to school as well too. So Valerie was already working with How to One Salsa, so she actually came in and we started teaching classes together. And we had some other people like Maribel. Maribel also was actually teaching classes, but Valerie was there to stick it all the way through as far as with the salsa classes as well too, and as a group. So it was, I think it was like 8 of us. I think it was around 8 of us that we actually had for How to One Salsa. But you know, things started dwindling apart because we started doing more promotion and just started focusing on the teaching. We wasn't too much as far as on like a dance group or anything like that, but we focused more on the teaching piece. And then I, you know, of course, I took a break as far as from promoting because it started getting exhausting. So I found my love, of course, always want to be on TV as a talk show host. And then, you know, I got picked up for a little bit by a radio company. They had their own station, but that was only for like 2 months. And then I said I wanted to start my own talk show. And And then once I started my own talk show, that's when Valerie came to play. It's like, hey, I want to do that with you. So we got together and start, working that out. And it was good. It was good.
Yeah. So the journey, you have done so many things at that point.
Yeah.
And then you decide to do your talk show. So let's try to inspire people, or maybe give some tips and advice on what people can do to start their own podcast show. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to get a mic and I'm just going to talk. No, there's so much more that they're not thinking about. Can we give you your expert advice? So what did you do when you were deciding to start Rico No Suave? First of all, why did you come up with the title? I'm all about the titles. Where did you come up with that Rico No Suave?
So Rico, so there's already a Rico Suave, right? Rico Suave from Ecuador. So it's like, you know what? Let me put a no in there. I'm going to put a Rico No Suave, even though people do call me like Rico Suave when I'm dancing salsa. I say, you know what? Let me put Rico No Suave. So people be like twisted, and they're like, oh, I like that. I like the way you put the no in there, because Rico Suave is already there. So that's why I came up with Rico No Suave.
Wasn't Rico Suave? Wasn't he was a one-hit wonder guy with a hit. I don't remember the song. Do you remember the song?
It was called Rico Suave. It was that's what I remember.
With the white shirt and it was wind flowing. I'm confusing him with Fabio now. I'm seeing Fabio, but I know that it's not Fabio. Rico, I'm going to have to go look him up on YouTube. But I know that there was a lot of jokes about Rico Suave.
For sure.
But I think that's because I think he intended it to be like that. I don't think that he was taking himself seriously. I think that he thought, hey, this is a good gimmick, and it worked. It worked very well. And so, all right. So you and Valerie go, you said, hey, I'm going to start my own talk show. But you and Valerie get together and talk me through the process of how you set up Rico No Suave.
So the one biggest thing, there's big pieces to the puzzle when you're starting off. And I really, and I know people think of it as a podcast, and I'm going more, of course, going more towards Hollywood and going more towards the talk show. And thank you so much for the Arsenio Hall. Yes, I used to watch him all the time. That is a compliment beyond compliment. So, and yes, that's the type of talk show that I'm moving towards in regards to that. But throwing a little bit of a Latin feel to it as well too. So I'm definitely looking to actually, get in there. I see Jacqueline Murphy is on. Jacqueline Murphy, thank you so much, because we've been talking as well too. So about some great things that's going to be coming up. But how to start a talk show in general, I think it does come with training. And it also comes in how you communicate with your guest, or you communicate with people. The first thing before you even want to step as far as step in front of a camera or be able to be presentable in front of a camera, you have to understand the type of angles, what you're wearing, what you look like, and then kind of grow from there, right? I think for me, because we started off with just, the t-shirt, and we was like, okay, let's brand ourselves. Let's look at it, from a branding standpoint, let everybody know it is the Rico No Suave show. Let's put a background out, what we could get from Walmart, a background, and have, one speaker, and then we'll bring in a guest, and we'll have 1 6-foot table, and let's just at least get it started. And one camera. That was it. One camera. It was a Mevo camera. So people need to understand that you have to start off somewhere. If you want to become a podcaster and you want to just do just that, then you have the audio and you also have the visual, right? But if you're going to become a podcaster, what type of podcaster? You have to understand what type of podcaster you want your audience to understand you as. You just
what
can't go
your
in there and just start talking about
platform
something.
is, what your I am
Yes.
so glad you said that, Rico, because how many shows have you started watching podcasts and they just start talking and you're like, well, what the hell is your platform? What's your
Right.
show about?
Right.
They don't do introductions. I know it's repetitive every week, but
Sure.
there are new people tuning in. And if you just start talking, assuming that people know what the hell your show's about, you're going to lose an audience member because you're
That's right.
not telling them what they're going to expect. So I'm
That's
so glad
correct.
that you said that. Continue.
Yeah. So I think, from that standpoint, you got to understand as far as who your audience is. And you also have to practice good conversation. You have to prepare your notes before someone comes onto your show.
Right.
And I think what happens is that you might have a bio, but you got to come up with some really great questions for your guest. Right?
Yes.
It's very important because in order for you to be able to know how to interview people, you know how to basically get what you want to get out of them, right?
That's
And for me, it was always because back in the day, I used to freestyle off of words. So when I used to freestyle off of words, it was always as if I took a word that somebody actually says, for example, disability. And then I might say, oh, there's a disability, but you technically have an ability to achieve your goals. And when you say that, I have a disability because people don't understand that that doesn't stop me from having that ability to grow.
right. Right.
So, and people need to understand that when you're actually talking to people, you want to basically relate to them, but you also want to give them something to think about. And I think for me and a show, and me and Valerie was very good at that, where we were tag teaming, and we were actually tag teaming in such a great way where it was allowing the guest to think and say, oh my God, I didn't think about that question. Or we have a list of questions now, but feeding off of those questions was very important to us. And the show just continues to grow. And big shout out to the people along our journey. You have to have a desk, right? Not just a table. You got to have a desk. If you have a desk, make sure you have a desk that looks presentable. If you're going towards TV, that's good. If you want to just have, and this was at the beginning now. This was, I was thinking of desks, I was thinking of the Johnny Carson, the Johnny
Yeah.
Carson desk and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just having that and looking at those role models that I was looking at. But then you also start getting to more the modern. Okay, well, now forget about the desk now. And thanks to the desk from Myrna Bromley and Gino, they actually bought the desk and bought some chairs for us and was like, hey, we got to make you guys look legit, and then go from there. The next thing you know, we actually that's when, of course, thanks to Beatrice, she came in and said, let's redo this set now. Let's actually make it look like a talk show where you're sitting down, you're comfortable. And as you can see, this background, that's my background that we actually use for the talk show. And then from then on, it was just more of what type of equipment do you grow with? What type of lighting? What cameras do you use? And start making it even bigger. So all of this, you got to have money over time to invest. So
Yeah.
always keep your daytime job. That's what I tell people. Keep your
Yeah.
daytime job, right? Keep your daytime
Yeah.
job, because that's going to save you in regards to where you want to actually go with building a talk show. And if you want to go more as TV, this is a great way. Visual all the time. If you want to go more Joe Rogan or more podcaster like and trying to get that 100 mil, go right ahead and do it. But it's just so many of them out there. So I'm trying to, I'm working on my journey to get that exclusive.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not, I'm so glad you said that, because my show, Question Reality radio show, we were one of the very first podcast shows in 2008.
Yeah.
Very, very first. People didn't even know what a podcast show was. And ours was actually a combination radio, because we were at a radio station. And yet it was weird because it was a radio station, but it was a podcast show in a radio station. It was weird.
Yeah.
But it's grown since then. And most people we had it at a studio, and I loved it because it was such a professional atmosphere.
Mhm.
But it gets expensive.
It does.
It does, because when you, I don't want to mention any names, but when you go with somebody that is offering that venue, that you have it look where it looks exactly like you're in a radio station, which you are because it's all the equipment. They charge by the hour,
Mm.
and it can run $150 to $200 an hour. And
Wow.
imagine me paying that for 15 years.
Wow. Wow.
And finally, I saw that so many people, because of technological advancement, that they were doing podcasts right from their home office. And I thought,
Right.
we have a home office, and my husband is a tech. He's a very humble person. He doesn't like me to say it, but he is a software developer, and he's a genius with computers. He can take them apart, put them together. I'm like, why am
Let's
I
go,
paying?
IT. Let's
Why am
go.
why am I paying,
Yes.
all that money when he can run the show for me as the
There you
technical?
go.
So I can put that money elsewhere. I got Snickers bars to buy. I can't be spending all my damn money. I got cheeseburgers and French fries. I don't care. But my point is that you, I don't know how much you spent, but I want people to realize that anybody can do a podcast show. Don't be intimidated. Now, I'm not saying everybody, because I have seen, Rico, and I know you have too, seen people who just say, well, I want to have a podcast show, and they start a podcast show, but they just, I'm a nice person, and I am kind, and I'm always looking for the positive. But I'm sorry, some people do not have the personality to be host of a podcast show.
You
And
know,
go
I want
ahead.
to say I want to say one thing. I want to
And
say
I
one thing
want
about
them
that.
to. I want them to. I
Yeah,
want
but
them to.
I think, and I do watch some podcasts when they actually have guests on, and and one of the things when they bring on and they having a debate, I don't call it an argument, but sometimes it sounds like that when you
Yeah.
actually are a guest or a host talking to the guest. The one
Yes.
thing I will never ever say, unless they're really out of pocket, like if they really get out of pocket as far as on the show, but I would never say, I am the host, you listen. I brought
No.
you on to, you should
No.
never ever
No.
say that. Don't
No.
and it
Have
throws me
you
off.
ever heard someone say that? I've never heard
Yeah,
someone say
yeah.
that. Oh, I've
I
never
mean,
heard.
even from a podcast that they actually have, when they're bringing someone on and the conversation that we have, you have to be able to let the person talk,
Yeah.
understand what they're saying, come back with your words, let them talk, and then come up with an agreement. Come up
Right.
with something where you can actually make something clear. And
Right.
when I heard that it's my talk show, no, you can't talk. I let you talk, blah. And then that's when it just becomes into like that whole CNN debate and
Yeah.
things like, and I'm like, oh man, I
Yeah.
don't see how they do it. That's like, I
I don't
cannot be
want.
that person.
I
I can't
can't
be
watch.
that person.
I can't. Albert watches that stuff, those political shows all day, every day. And I can't. Rico, it drives me crazy. I'm like, I don't want to hear people screaming and I'm
Yeah,
right. No,
it's
I'm
annoying.
better. I know more. I want to talk theory. I'm all into happiness, sunshine, and
Yes,
flowers. I don't want
yes.
to I want to talk about things that make life better or help people. But what I was saying was that I would love everybody to have their dream if they want to be a podcast host, but not everybody has the personality.
Yes.
Rico, as you know, you are a natural. You
Thank
have
you.
the gift,
Thank you.
and so many people do. And I think I want to get and if you agree, I
Sure.
or want to contribute. I think that maybe they could be a great podcast host if they find out what their genre is or their platform.
Yes.
Sometimes what I'm seeing is podcast hosts are trying to do an entertainment type show, but they're very monotone and they're very dry and they
Yeah.
don't have any life. And I'm thinking, no, that's not your genre. You gotta
Right.
find something that's serious. There's many, as you know, many podcast shows with serious people doing serious shows.
Right.
But they
Right.
don't want to do it. It's just like, my friend Michael Orland, who was musical director of American Idol, he said, oh my God, Priscilla, you've watched the show. People come on there and they think that they can sing like Karen Carpenter or Barbara Streisand, and their mother have told them, oh my God, you're the greatest thing since Campbell's soup. And I'm like, bitch, you cannot sing. Get the hell. I am not listening to you. Cannot sing. But they're out of touch with reality. Well, it's the same thing with people trying to be podcast hosts. That doesn't mean you can't be one if that's your dream. But do research and find what your genre and platform is.
Yeah.
And don't try to fit yourself into being like Rico no Suave here. Right? Who is exuberant and vibrant and exciting, and you can't take your eyes off of him, and you want to like hang out with him, and you want to like cut a piece of his hair off, and you want to like strip his skin and like do a Army Hammer where you fry it up with some oil and butter and pepper. You want some Rico skin and make some, what are those things that
Funyuns.
you buy? There's that pig skin. What's it
The
called?
Funyuns.
Chicharrones.
Chicharrones.
Chicharrones. You want a piece of Rico. You want a chicharrone. But, that is who he is. You were born like that. You were born with a gift.
Thank you.
It seems like people who are very quiet and mellow and low key, they want to have a show like yours, right? And if they continue down that path, you unfortunately are going to stress yourself out because you're trying to fit yourself into a personality that is not natural.
Right.
So my question to you is, what advice would you give people who are how do you find your genre if you don't know what it is?
Some people are not meant to actually be in front of the camera.
Yes.
Some of them are meant to be directors.
Right.
Some people are there to actually probably hire their own host.
Exactly.
Based off of the platform and genre of things that they want to actually be. Because if you're not outspoken, if you're not like sociable, this is, you have to be able to be sociable to be able to get out there, to be able to let people know who you are. You want people to know when you smile that they smile back, and then a conversation happens without you even saying anything. That's just like a hello. Right?
Yeah.
And I think for people that wants to become that podcaster or wants to become a talk show host, there's a lot of people watching you.
Yes.
And if there's a lot of people watching you, they're gonna watch your reactions, they're gonna watch your your mannerisms, your characteristics, how you deal with your staff. People are going to see that. And if you don't have that good image, it's just not going to work. And you have to work within yourself for that. You have to know that if there is someone that you want to train under, you can train under them as well too, in order for that personality to come out the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
So I think overall, if you do have that personality that you're trying to get out, somebody else might need to be able to help you do so.
Yeah. And there's lots of courses you can take. There are lots of books you can read, and you can really, 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 really try hard if that's what you want to do. Don't give up your daydream. Right. But at some point, you got to watch yourself back. I would suggest, and I don't know what you think about this tip, but I would suggest before you go live, you should do maybe a mock show with somebody.
Sure.
Right? Mock
You should
show.
practice. Yeah, you should definitely practice
before you go out there, because you could be a deer in the headlights, and that's going to cause you a lot of stress and anxiety. So do some mock shows. But I would suggest not asking your mother and grandmother how you really are, because they are going to lie their asses off, because it's their job.
Right.
Post it online and ask for strangers' opinions, because there are some trolls out there, right? They're going to tell you. They'll tell you. So along with that, you do have to have it's very important to have lighting, obviously. Yeah. What other tips would you
you definitely got to make sure you have people to help you. Meaning that for me, I have producers to help me with my show. So, and big shout out to my team. They know who they are. And, my team itself is, we got people that does lighting. We have people that do the audio. We have sound checks. We got people that's listening in to make adjustments to the audio if we need to. We have somebody watching the cameras. We have somebody that's running the production, just kind of like what you're doing right now, right?
I used to have people that do it for me, Rico. Now I decided I didn't want to pay all that money, so now I'm running everything from my home office, and it's so different, Rico.
It
because
is.
You are running. I'm really glad that you're giving these tips, because I used to be at that high elevated level where all I did was walk into the radio station and everything was done for me.
Yep.
And I got used to that for 15 years. And then prior to that, for 6 years, I used to be on cable access television show, Warner Brothers. And so I had people do it for me. And then I decided, I'm going to do it all myself. Oh my God, Rico, it has been really, I took a hiatus, a whole year off, because I was burnt out from 20 years of doing this, which can happen. But when I started the show up this year, it was so different. And I wanted to know from you, because it sounds like you have a whole team. And I used to have 2 assistants and all that. But when COVID hit, things happened. And so now I said, well, I'm extremely detail oriented and methodical and organized. I'm like a micromanager. So I said, well, I can do it myself. Look at all my skills, right? I got skills. I can do it. Yeah. Oh my God. I have had nothing but stress and anxiety nonstop, because now, Rico, you have a team, but look at what girlfriend has to do over here. I do the networking. I do the the administrative stuff. I do the producing. I do the directing. I do Albert helps me with the technical, the lighting and stuff. But I've got to do all my own administrative stuff. And that's very hard, because when a guest comes on, I'm not the type of person to half-ass shit. Right. I look at their bio, and God knows, I don't know what you get, but I'm going to air a pet peeve for people who are listening. When people ask you for a 1 paragraph of career highlights, do not send people 6 to 10 pages. Rico, I have to go through this. And
dissect it, right?
Because we got to create the questions.
That's correct.
Some people, just sloppily do it. But I read the bio, and I like to pull out interesting questions that are not standard things. But when they send me, 6 to 10 pages, oh my God, I lose my mind, Rico.
Yeah.
So no matter how much, and what I love about you, oh my God, I got to tell you, you have your shit together. You are so highly elevated as
Thank you.
a podcast producer because you have got, and I don't know if B did this for you or if you came up with the idea. I don't know how it happened, but you actually have a media kit.
Yes.
And you have everything that people need to know about you.
Correct.
And all we have to do is copy and paste. So my tip is, please, as a podcast director, if you want to help your producer, you want to help yourself out, make sure people do not send you stuff that's going to stress you out where you go, I don't want to do the show anymore. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go through. And I got some sort of OCD where I can't not read the 10 to 20 pages. I gotta do it. I can't not do it. And so it's very very different doing it from my home office now. Very, very, very different. But it doesn't matter whether you have Rico's situation where he is one, I think, one level below like having late night television professional, right? Am I right? Because you're saying you're doing it in a studio. You got people that do the lighting. You got assistants. You got all your shit going on over there. You got all the shorties running around. Right? They're just doing their thing to please the Rico man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
But that is doing it right. But as you said, don't give up your day job because it's going to cost money. I imagine you have to pay. But let's talk about how you counter that, the counter effect of that, because you can opt with getting sponsors or advertisers. Right. I hate advertisers and sponsors. I refuse. I have never. I was, Rico, I don't know if I told you, but I was offered to take my show when I was at LA Talk Radio. I was offered, because I have lots of celebrity friends, and one of my celebrity friends said, oh my God, because she has a show on Sirius. And she said, oh my God, Priscilla, your show, your personality, you could have a daytime television show. You, Roseanne, look out, all that. You could do it. Would you let me talk to the director and find out if he'll listen to the show? So he did, and then I got offered to take my show to Sirius XM, right?
Nice.
Let me tell you. And I was going to do it. Oh my God. Wait until you see that contract. Oh yeah. So he listens. Oh my God, your show it's exactly what we're looking for. We're gonna put you on at the night shift to start you out, but then we can move you up in the time slot. I'm like, okay, yay, let's do it. Oh no, there is a contract where you have to, and I'm not gonna get into details, but there's a contract you have to sign when you get to the Sirius XM level, where you have to bring in your own advertisers and you have to bring in minimum $1 million a year.
Wow.
And that's a commitment. That's a commitment. So he's saying to me, oh, Priscilla, come on, you won't have any problem. Oh my God. And I think to a certain point, I mean, this is a professional man. So if he didn't feel that I could do it, he would never have offered me the contract, because Sirius XM is a show where they're serious, no pun intended. Right. And they wouldn't have offered that. But he said, your format and your personality, you have the ability to grow. I really want your show. I want your format. And I was almost going to do it. But as a person who cannot, I feel trapped by contracts, and I feel like signing anything is signing a deal with the devil. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Yeah. I couldn't do it. So I turned down for my show to be on Sirius XM. And I think that people have to realize that if that's something you're aspiring to, you should know that it's a business,
It
and
is.
you've got to sign that contract. They are not going to just let you bring your show unless you're a celebrity, of course. Like Howard Stern,
Right.
but he still has a contract, Rico.
I'm sure.
He 15 million
I'm
minimum.
sure. I'm
So,
sure.
but he can bring it in.
Right.
I just felt so stressed out from doing that. But back to the point is, I don't like the whole idea of bringing in sponsors for my show, and I don't really have a need to make money to do that. So
Right.
I chose to not do that. But for people who are looking to supplement their income and monetize their show, can you give them some advice?
Yeah, so I think one of the things about starting locally with different, mom and pop shops that need that exposure, that
Yeah,
wants to do some collaborations as well
right.
too. I think if you start off with someone on that level or small businesses that want to get that exposure, you basically can collaborate. You can also do a collaboration of, for example, big shout out to my man Marcus Velasquez. We're doing something called Better Communication. And Better Communication is an online training utility where he's actually training how to become a better communicator. So on my show, if people go to that link, they get 10%. We get profit from that, right? So, and what happens is that you can build it that way where you collaborate with people in order for you to be able to get, 50-50 split, right? You can get a
Yeah,
50-50 split however you wish when it comes to, people buying certain products. Second of all, yeah, commercials are really good because if your numbers are up, then people are going to say how many viewers do you have? How many people do watch the show? How many people watch the show afterwards? And then if there's people that actually watch the show afterwards, then hey, that's a good way for you to be able to put ads, and also you can get sponsors as well too. You also need to get out there and start networking with people. You get out
yeah,
there and start networking with people, and people say, hey, what do you have a business? Oh, okay. How big is your business? Oh, okay. I have a talk show. Would you like to actually advertise on talk show? Okay. We'll give you based off of how big your company is. This is how much it costs, and we'll run it twice. We'll run it twice on the show. And,
hmm
they'll be like, hey, as long as it's actually being exposed and people can actually see it, some people don't care about that.
right.
So that's the good advice I can give people for
Right.
sure.
And that's and then you can do things like, to start out with, it's called trade for exposure.
Yep.
You can get lots of good shit that way.
Yep. Yep.
If they don't want to give you money, because a lot of small companies, mom and pop places, they don't really have money, but they have products. So
Yep.
maybe you need a product. So to start
Yep.
out, that's a good way too. Now,
Yep.
I used to be what's called, I'm sure you're familiar with this, but I used to be what's called a media buyer. So basically, I bought time, air, and space. So, for example, but one of my clients was Sears. So when they wanted to advertise something, we would put their ads in on television, radio, in print magazines. So basically, I would do that,
Yeah.
and that is something that was the way they would track that. They were called arbitron ratings, right? So
Yep.
there used to be a way to track when an advertiser would spend money, they'd be able to track how much was spent on radio, the listeners, how many people. But now, if you're not in that large medium and you're just a podcaster, then the first thing they're going to ask you is, how do I know that I'm going to, if I give you money, how do I know that I'm going to get an ROI, a
All
return
right.
on investment?
Right.
And so what are you saying to these people who you are going to get advertising dollars?
Well, I think one of the things is that you can't guarantee anything
No.
because these are just regular consumers, right?
Right.
These are people that view your show, but if it's something that they like, it's going to be based off of how good your product is. right?
Right.
So if the commercial is a really nice commercial and people want to get involved with that, then people will get involved with that. I really think, and also, product placement. If you put a product, on a table and it's
Mhm.
being shown there, and people like, what is that? I want to know more about that. Then people
Right.
are going to inquire about it. Now, they might inquire about it even after the show is actually over, but it really depends on what that product is. And it's a gamble, right? It's a gamble
Yeah.
with everything that you're doing. But as long as they see that you have the views, then
Yeah.
they might have a chance to be able to say, hey, you know what, we're going to take a chance and see how this actually goes. And it's not just one time. You have to continuously put things in people's faces in order for
Mhm.
them to know. For at
Yes.
least, I would say at least for like 3 to 4 months at least.
And the way that it's being done now, and of course, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way it's being done now is, unfortunately, you've got to work your ass off building up your followers.
Of
You've
course.
got to get your views. You
Yes.
have to promote, 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 promote. And if you are not doing that consistently, you're going to have a problem. So you're
That's
very
correct.
lucky that you have people that are doing that for you.
Yes.
But uh, we have to make people realize that if you want to have a podcast show and you want to get out, if you want to do it just as a hobby and you don't need to worry about it, fine. But if you want to supplement your income and get advertisers, you have to promote nonstop. I have many friends that work in, for example, film distribution. And this one guy, he's a friend of mine, he owns a film distribution company. He said, Priscilla, here's how it goes in one of our meetings. All right. So if we have comparable films and we are trying to figure out, well, let's go back, let's go way back. I have a friend I just had a conversation with. He's an A&R rep for Cap, for a big record label, right? And he said, Priscilla, if you've got to do your own packaging today, you've got to do everything.
Yeah.
You have to do your music, you have to sing, and you have to dance, and you have to do your video, and you have to do everything has to be packaged today.
Right.
There's so many singers, right? And so many music that sounds so much alike. Here's what it comes down to, and this is relating to podcast shows as well. He says, if I have a couple artists that are comparable in looks and in talent, and the music is the same, here's the deciding factor: how many followers do they have?
It's
How
all
many
what it is.
views do they have? We're going to go with that artist and sign that artist who's actively, not just has the views and the followers, but is actively promoting it. And they see that that person is actively promoting it
Yep.
themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to podcast stuff too,
Yep.
right?
And
Yeah.
that's why I think that's also, how we're building our cooking show, right? Our cooking show as well too. That's like a big thing. And some of my people that's on right now from the cooking show watching, John T for free. He's actually the director. He's actually the director of the cooking show, Cooking with Rico show.
Who is?
Uh, his name is John Taylor,
Yeah,
but
let's
we call
talk
him
about
John
that
T.
cooking show, because the last time I had you on, I think you were just about to do the
Yeah,
cooking show.
yeah, just getting
So
started.
just getting started. So
Yeah.
what have you done since then? How did you,
Oh,
because you have a passion, obviously, for
yes,
cooking, but what did
yes.
you do?
So, big shout out to my team, man. Big shout out to my team because, my team has been working very hard, and, we come in to actually produce the film, and then there's a lot of editing behind the scenes, and John was that editor at the very beginning, and he's still editing, but he's actually, helping to run, and we have a team of six. We have a team of six now. So, basically I'm cooking internationally. So I'm cooking from all cultures. So it can be from Hungarian to Pakistan, Asian, Italian, of course, Latin. We're cooking African. I'm cooking everything. And it's cool because, you're understanding the seasoning, you're understanding the culture behind it, you're understanding the flavors behind it, but they're all street food. So it's not just gourmet. It's not gourmet. It's street food, kind of like a little bit of gourmet touch to it.
Are you
So
doing all of this in a commercial kitchen where you're filming it in a
so
commercial kitchen?
we have a commercial kitchen, and also I'm doing it in the studio too, in a loft where I have the island. So if you see on the YouTube Cooking with Rico show, you'll see the loft, right? You'll see exactly what I'm cooking, and then I have episodes in a commercial kitchen as well.
Okay. Did you have to get any health code certificates or how?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know you can't just whip it up in a kitchen. Film it. Tell us about the process with
So I
that.
think there's always certification as far as culinary school, and you get your certifications. But nowadays you can actually, based off of where you're going to do the show, some of them require that you have some type of a certification. I think for myself, it's more of a food handler, being able to handle food in certain areas. And some do not. Some you can just go in there and just start cooking, and then just
Yeah,
start whipping stuff up.
I wanted you to, when you came out here, I wanted you to come and cook at a couple of my
I know.
celebrity friends' houses.
Yeah.
And my one friend said, he's not cooking my damn house. Where's his certificate? Does he have the, dude, he's asking all these questions. I'm like, I don't know if he has. I think we could bring a fire extinguisher, but, and he's like, no, well, what happened? Blah, blah. And there's so many questions. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what he, but the next time I talk to him, I'll ask him if he
Yeah.
has some sort of certification that says, he said, what if he comes in and burns my damn house down?
Oh my goodness.
So dramatic. You know how actors are. So but you're cooking in a commercial kitchen.
Yeah.
So what do they require for you to be able to cook there and shoot?
As an upcoming chef, they don't really require it. They just require more exposure. That's basically what you're giving them. Like for example, in Bacchus is located in Elmhurst, Illinois. So we teamed up as far as with them for us to be able to come in and actually cook. They already have the codes and safety codes already set for the actual kitchen itself.
Good.
It's just bringing in the chefs to be able to do it. Now, mostly chefs can come in and just rent out space. So you can just come in and just rent out space and then just start cooking if they want to do a cooking show. Yeah. So you really technically don't need all of that. Like, for example, and we're going to New Orleans to actually cook with a band member, and also one of his managers. They're bringing us down there to actually cook in like a vintage house. So since we're cooking in someone else's house, there's no certification behind that, because we're already trained to know exactly what we should be cooking, how we should be cooking, how do we prepare our food, and that's over time in regards to training. So when it comes down to it, I think
so you don't need any special insurance to guarantee if something happens and there is a fire that you're covered.
So you're talking about liability insurance. So if you're talking about liability insurance, I have that. I have that as well. So if I was to put that under, like, for example, I can put that under special occasion events, right? And have liability insurance and put that under there, because that's considered as an event, right? And then I'm the one that's the owner of it, and I can be whatever I want to with that company, right? So technically, Cooking with Rico show is kind of the production behind the scenes, and producing a film, right? And then posting it on YouTube, and putting highlight reels together for people to be able to see my work and say, oh yeah, we would like for you to come and do a show as well too. And we have done that. We have done that at venues for a gala, and it was good. It was good.
And so when you're doing the cooking, that would be a great opportunity for you to do the product placement.
Yep.
But if it's an ingredient that is a name brand, do you just hide it on camera, or do you try to get permission and say, hey, I'd like to use your product?
That's the secret. That's the secret of having little bowls. right? When you have little
Yeah.
clear glass bowls, you already have whatever the seasoning you
Have
want
it
in there. You don't have to actually use the brand.
right,
Right,
right.
right. Unless you
Oh,
really want to say it. Yeah.
yeah. So how is now the Cooking with Rico show? What exactly are how many shows have you done so far?
Ooh. So we're up to 54 right now.
You do them weekly or
Uh, twice a
monthly?
month. Twice a month is
Oh,
when we're
twice
doing
a
it.
month.
Twice a month.
Twice a
Yeah.
month. And what is this that I was reading about you? Wait a minute, going cooking with a cause. What is that about?
So the Cooking for a Cause is basically we want to cook for the homeless. We want to also cook. We did something for a group like for autism. We're doing it for special cases. The objective of that is to be able to, to help the homeless to feed kids, right? Kids that actually may have cancer, kids that may have, certain diseases, or also adults, that may have certain diseases. We want to help the community. So how do we do so? People in need of some entertainment, but also just make them feel that it was a gift, to them, to let them know that we do appreciate them. We appreciate as far as knowing that you have maybe a disability, but you have the ability to continue to move forward with life. So that's the Cooking for a Cause that
Is that have you turned that into a charity? It's a five is it a
501.
501c?
See, no, not yet. That's actually the more we do, that's when we're going to actually start building that and putting that into a 501c.
So you will be turning that
Yeah,
into charity. So right
yeah,
now you're doing it just to
pro bono.
Mhm. And when you are cooking, say cooking for cooking with a cause, and you're
Sure.
cooking food and people are eating it, how do you protect yourself against? For example, when I was in high school, my mother forced me to get a job, so I worked at Burger King so I could see all the hot guys, and I wanted to take all the waste because there was some just incredible waste. I mean, they were throwing out Whoppers that were, I mean, all this food that wasn't even eaten. And I wanted to take it to the homeless shelter, but they wouldn't let me because they said that is a violation, a health
Yes,
code violation,
correct.
because if people got sick,
Yes.
they could sue us. How are you protecting yourself against that?
So one of the things is that when you're preparing for a certain amount of people, remember we're doing demos, we're doing shows. So
Right.
when we're doing demos and shows, 9 times out of 10 they bought their own product, and we're actually like, say for example, a group. We're actually going to be doing. We have a recipe that we're going to be doing for the youth. Now the youth itself can buy their own packaging for the recipe. Excuse me, for the recipe. So for the recipe itself, they'll get all the ingredients and they'll have it themselves. They cook along with me.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's no leftovers.
Okay. So they're bringing their own ingredients. So if they pick something that is going to get them sick or do food poisoning, they can't blame it on you.
Correct. Exactly.
Like you brought your own shit, don't be blaming it on me.
If
Oh
I
yeah.
was to cook for example, when I did it for the homeless, when I cooked for them, and that was the last time I cooked for 80 people by myself. And that was where certain people like to eat a certain amount, like chicken. And if there was something wrong with it, or if there was something that I needed to take from them, I would ask them, hey, is that good for you? And if they said no, I will take it and I will cook it to make sure that it's to their liking. Because not everybody else have the same type of taste buds, right? Just like if you go to a
Yeah.
restaurant, how would you like it? Would you like it well, medium well, rare? How would you like it? So, of course, me being in the kitchen when I was there, I was still able to make sure that I was cooking to their liking.
Okay.
So I make sure that I'm on site and I make sure that it's good. Hey, check this. Is this what the way you want it? No, if you don't, okay, let me cook it some more. How is this? And I'll make sure
Mhm.
that they're right there with me. to make that happen. But I think that'll be the last time that I'm cooking for 80 people by myself. I got to make sure I have some volunteers.
That's crazy now.
Yeah.
It says that you pair for Cooking with the Cause. It's a show that pairs celebrity cooking assistants. What celebrity cooking assistants have you had so far?
So we've had we were planning on doing something as far as what NASCAR race with my man Matt Jasko. I was trying to get something as far as going on as far as with him. But there's a big time Unique Sweets. I call her famous. I call her celebrity because she does so much as far as in Chicago for autism. So when we did the autism, you know, her and her helpers was actually on the side of me, and we all cooked, you know, chicken pikata with pasta. So it was, she was kind of my celebrity as far as here in Chicago. That's why I say, you know, we're looking to do more of that as well too.
Okay. So the celebrity assistants are to be announced. So,
right.
More. And what? So you're doing these? You're filming it, and it's at shelters, churches, and senior homes. So
Yeah.
they let you use their equipment. You go
Yeah.
in there, you cook, and do the people they get to eat it after, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But do you ever bring the people on camera to take a little taste of it?
Yes, of course. Yeah, for sure. When we did the gala, we did that because we did a gala that was in Bolingbrook, and we had people, and part of our reel, we actually had people that was eating our food as well too. So yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
exciting. Now, what's going on with this NASCAR? I didn't know you were into cars.
Yeah,
Tell me about it. You're introducing the NASCAR moment. What is that show about?
So I've always been a NASCAR fan. I've always been a race car. Ever since I was little, I wanted the go-kart. And
have you ever driven a real race car?
No. You have no idea how much I really want it. Please hook me up.
I got a friend who's in New Orleans. When
Perfect.
are you going to be in New Orleans?
That's going to be in June 7th through the 10th.
Okay,
yeah.
Let me know. All right. Yeah. Because I have a friend that has some sort of, I'm not into cars, obviously, but I know that my friend is like, oh my God, we were in the box. The sky
the VIP skybox. Yeah.
The box of some, and it goes in one ear and out the other because it doesn't interest me. But I'm like, oh, good. But now that you said the NASCAR, I'm going to try to hook you up. But I know that they have race cars that you can actually pay to drive, right?
Yeah.
But is it expensive? Is that why you never did it? It's super.
Well, no, I think most of the time when I was there, it was I've only done it as far as with media with them at least twice. So the Chicago Street Race, and then I went to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for South Point 400. And it was so exciting when I actually got, the Chicago Street Race, doing that the first time. I was so happy.
So you were in a race car. You have been in a race car.
I was just doing photography. I was doing photography and video. I wish I was. Oh man, I wish I was.
But it's possible. You don't even have. You can rent the time to get in the race car.
I think we do have that at the Joliet Speedway, that we can actually rent the car and actually drive, but we have to take.
Why haven't you done that yet?
I know. It's just timing. I gotta do it. I have to do it.
Is it really expensive to do that?
No, I think it was only like $75 an hour when I last heard about it. I was like, that's nothing.
Well, let's do that as a birthday present. When's your birthday?
In December.
December what?
Pearl Harbor 7th.
December 7th. All right. I'm going to work on that with B, and I'm going to try to get her and I to talk you into it, and you're going to but I want you to film it so I can put it on my show. We're going to get you in a race car. I love people's dreams to come true.
Thank you.
you want. Yeah. But you do go to NASCAR on a regular basis and go sit and see all the cars racing?
So because since I started the talk show, it's been a lot, going on as far as with the talk show and also the cooking show. I really haven't got a chance to really get out to NASCAR every single place that they actually are at. But I am working with NASCAR to see how I can get more involved as far as with the drivers and getting more involved with interviewing a truck. They got a truck series as well too. So I'm
What?
trying to get more involved as far as with the truck
What?
series as well.
But
Yeah.
aren't they in Indianapolis, right? They're in
There's a,
Indianapolis.
there's
Is
an
that where
Indy
NASCAR is?
there's an Indy 500. Yeah, there's an Indy
Is
500.
that different than the
That's
NASCAR?
different. Yeah. They
Where?
usually do Daytona 500.
Oh, where's the NASCAR race? What
Man,
state is?
they're all over. They're all over Las Vegas. They're in they were just doing Austin, the circuit of the Americas. They got Phoenix. Man, they have I think they did Bristol as well too. They're all over. They're all over.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it's
they're all over.
I didn't really understand that, but it's just like a traveling event.
Yep.
So wherever they have a racetrack, you're saying they could have a NASCAR race there.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Correct.
And when you said you're going to be in New Orleans in June?
Yeah, June 7th.
Okay. And are you going to be busy every single day? Now, here's what I'm thinking. I have a cousin that owns a pizza restaurant called Mr. Jim's Pizza.
Okay.
And I was thinking, it just popped in my head. Now, I don't know. I haven't talked to her because I just had the thought. But
Sure.
I was just thinking, what could we do where you could pop in there and maybe do a show, because she would obviously let you do it for free. But it's a chain in the South called Mr. Jim's Pizza. It's a chain
Okay.
of pizza restaurants.
Okay.
But maybe you could pop in there. And do you know how to do pizza?
Well, I will learn, definitely.
Yeah, maybe they could shoot a show, and you could shoot a show, and we could have you doing pizza, like making a pizza, and I'm going to, what is that called? Floorboard it, not floorboard it. What is that called when you're working on something? What's that term? Spearboard it. I'm going to think about it.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
Yeah. Would that be something you'd be interested in
for sure.
doing?
Oh, yes, for sure.
Because my cousin is lovely, her husband is lovely, and they're so much fun, and they sing, and they do the TikToks where they sing and throw the pizza up, and they sing and catch it, and they do funny stuff. So you would fit right in there. So awesome. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to talk to her tomorrow and see if so you're June 7th to what?
The 10th.
To the 10th.
That weekend.
And what will you be doing there again?
We're doing we're trying to make a live cooking show happen as well too, with an audience. So we actually big shout out to Tyron Benoit band. They came on my show. He actually came on my show for my birthday, and we started talking about cooking. So me and my team was like, hey, we're going out to New Orleans. We got it booked and we're ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. So you already have a venue and a cooking. You have everything set up to do.
So on that next day, so on Saturday we have a venue, and then on that Sunday we're still trying to figure out as far as what chefs we want to go and actually see. So that can be right up the alley right there.
For the pizza, for my cousin's pizza shop?
Sure.
Yes, because you could actually do an Italian dish since it's pizza. I mean, you could do like a spaghetti and meatball or whatever you would do that's Italian related.
Yeah.
They would love that. I'm going to talk to her tomorrow. I'm excited. Let's make it happen. And then I was also thinking that when you come back to LA, I have already talked to my friend Ernest Thomas. Remember Raj from What's Happening?
Yes.
I have locked him in. He's like, all right, girl, let's do it. All right, let's do it. Yeah, so that would be so much fun to do it at Ernest's house, and we can talk about what's happening. And he's on Everybody Hates Chris, and we can
Okay.
incorporate all that. And
Nice.
maybe we could do like what was popular in the 70s, like a dish from the 70s. There's so many fun things, as you well know, what we could
Yes.
do. As long as we don't do that tacky dish that was popular. What was that green goddess lime jello that was popular? Oh my gosh, that was a mess. But there's so many fun things that we can do.
Okay.
For sure. I'm
Sounds good.
excited. You got me all excited now. So with the NASCAR thing,
Yeah.
I just wanted to so did you dedicate like a whole show to that? Or are you
So
just doing that remote? Those are just remotes.
those are just remote. So I'm actually dedicating a segment called NASCAR Moments. NASCAR Moments is basically talking about a moment that people need to be aware of. If whoever won, or if they have a NASCAR foundation for like the youth, the kids, if they have something like they had Fantasy Live for NASCAR, talked about the truck series, talked about the hall, they have a truck Hall of Fame or Cars Hall of Fame and all that great stuff. So I'm like, these NASCAR moments, and then we're gonna we put all this collage. So we're gonna put them all together, and then we're gonna hopefully show NASCAR what I've done.
Oh, I'm excited. I don't even like cars, but I'm excited about the NASCAR. All right, now we've talked about your journey as a talk show host. So this is something that you are excited about and you are going to continue, right?
For sure. Yes.
For sure. And then we talked about your journey as a chef.
Yeah.
What's your specialty though? Your favorite dish to cook?
That is so hard. That is so hard.
It is,
People
because that's like asking me. You can't ask a fat person what their favorite food is. We'll eat anything that's not walking. So I know that's kind of hard for you, but maybe.
Yeah, that's hard to ask because.
All right, let's make it. What's the easiest thing to cook while shooting a cooking segment? Because obviously you can't cook a bouillabaisse or you can't cook a French dish. That would take forever, or a beef bourguignon.
I think the easiest one for me was the Cuban rice, the Cuban chicken and rice.
Yes, you're supposed to make that for me.
Exactly.
That chicken cogno polo arrozo something. Still looking at that.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because I mean the chicken. Oh, honey, I made what my girlfriend Maria Helena Diaz. She gave me a recipe for this. It chicken cone. Maybe cone polo arroz. Anyway, it's got capers in it, and it's got onions, and it's got this special Mexican spice called arroz something. I'm just the worst at trying to explain that. Anyway, it turns out good. If I come on your cooking show, I want to make that. You will love it. You will love it. Love, as I think I told you before, I love cooking all different types of food. I cook Thai, I cook Chinese, French, but the worst, I've given up on French. I cannot do it. It's too much. Chinese, it's usually 15 ingredients. I have a meltdown and I have to take different types of alcoholic beverages to get me. Greek food is easy, Mediterranean. Oh yeah, but the good old chicken just wins it all, right?
Yeah,
chicken for everything. Now, what about your film festivals? We wanted to talk about film festivals and how that's going.
Yeah, so we just got started with, and we're getting more and more as far as doing red carpet film festivals. We've done 2 so far. One for the Urban Short Film Festival and one for the Chicago IndieCon. We're actually taking a trip up to Ann Arbor, Michigan this Saturday. We're doing it in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and that's going to be huge.
What
And
do
then,
you mean when you say you're doing? You didn't explain what you're
I'm
doing.
sorry, interviews. So we're
Oh,
interviewing,
okay.
so we're doing conducting interviews, kind of like the red carpet,
Yeah.
focusing more on that, which I'm so happy that I'm talking to you about.
Oh,
So
so you obviously heard where I went to, because I'm a judge and screener for many film festivals, but this particular one, the Sholo Film Festival in Arizona, did you see? Oh my God, Rico, I did 52 interviews in 2 hours.
wow.
This woman was so impressed with me who watched me doing these interviews. She asked me to do press interviews for the Oscar after party on March
Let's
10th, right?
let's go. Yeah.
But no, after that experience I had, I swear my mouth was dry. There was like, I had gum when I started, and by the time I was finished, it stuck to my lips, and I was being filmed, so I was like,
Oh my God.
and 52 interviews in 2 hours. I don't know how
Wow.
I did it. So, and you gotta ask like creative questions. But what
Correct.
happens? I don't know if you're experiencing this yet, but when I am doing the interviews, I like to ask good questions. I like
Correct.
to want to know what's your film about, who's your
Yes.
character, what did you like most about the character, and I just do everything improv. Well, they got your ass on a time limit at these film festivals because the lines are so long that
Yes.
they just want you to ask 1 or 2 questions. I can't do it, Rico.
Yeah. I know it's so
I
hard.
felt so rushed. I felt so frustrated. So when I was asked to do the press interviews for the Oscars after party, I turned it down. Everybody thinks that I'm like so crazy. I'm like a big fool, but I just couldn't. I was having PTSD from the other film festival where I did the 52 interviews, right? I could not do it. But what are you being told to, keep the questions short and to keep what's been working out for you?
So one of the things about the short film festivals that we've been doing is having people type in their names and their information first, or for the short film festivals, right? For the short film festivals, because they are, while they're watching the film festival, we're telling the directors to actually type in each one of the filmmakers that you want us to be able to interview. So we're getting all of the names in order of who's going to be coming up, and actors who's going to be coming up, and the directors, I'm sorry, and the organizers are bringing them to us.
Mm-hmm.
So
That would have been nice. That
so
would have been nice. I was processing what you're saying, and
yeah,
I'm like, son of a bitch, that would have made my job so much easier.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
so with that being said, we're starting to do that at all film festivals. Now, not every film festival is going to be the same, but when we are doing a film festival, we do want to make sure we know who's coming up, who's organizing these filmmakers or actors to come up, and then have their name. And when we're ready to do their name, we have it on a whiteboard. They said, this is the actor, this is their name, let's get it on. Then we get right into it and then go from there. But where I'm going is where, of course, following your footsteps of where I want to be when it comes to the Oscars. That's where I want to be.
Oh, I would have given you my damn job if I would have known that you wanted to do that. I could have said, well, I'm not going to do it, but here's Rico.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
would have
God.
loved to do that. I would have loved to do that.
I'm going to put your name in the hat for next year. I'm going to
Yeah.
tell her I got somebody.
I appreciate that.
Remind me though,
I will.
you have everything that we talk about where I say I'm going to do something, I will absolutely do it because I never, ever say anything and not do it. But the mind comes and goes. So you need to follow up and send me a list of everything that I said I was going to do. And then I go, okay. And then I do it. So do that for me. So I
definitely,
because that has to be planned a year in advance.
Yes.
And then what they do is you have Zoom meetings and they do all the preparation and stuff. So just to remind me. But yeah, I would have loved that. And this
That would have
film
been
festival, oh my God, it was so, this after party is so huge. It's like thousands and thousands of people. But the good thing is, my film, it was called, my movie, I was one of the producers on it. It was called #Bless. It was a Christmas movie. And the guy who I got to work with, or meet rather, I love this man. Okay. Cool in the Gang.
yeah.
Sir Earl Toon. He's one of the founders, right? So he's going to be working on our second Christmas film, which I'm very excited about. So
Nice.
I'd love to introduce you to him because he would be he's a food lover. He's a foodie.
Let's go.
So, when you come to LA, let me know. I don't even know if he lives here in LA. I guess I'll have to find out. But remind me on that one too, because he'd be a really good person to bring on the show. But so you are starting to get, I guess that would be called doing press interviews or for the film festivals, and that's fantastic. So far, which film festivals have you done work for?
So the short film festivals were one here in Chicago. There was 2 in Chicago. We got accepted to the Ann Arbor, Michigan one. We're looking to do, we got accepted to Atlanta. So Atlanta, we got an urban short film festival that we did here. They're taking it to Atlanta. So we got that one on May 18th. We're looking to do one in Massachusetts that's actually coming up in June. So we're looking to do that in June. I think that's towards the end of June that we're looking to do that film festival as well. I've been trying to look for the ones that's, of course, in Hollywood, where there's little short film festivals as well, too, that's going on, that I'm going to be doing some research to actually get there as well.
Okay. So what you can offer on your end is, hey, I will not only do the interviews, but I will bring all, they don't have to do anything extra. That's the selling point, because you can tell them that you're bringing your all your cast, your crew, your lights. Yep. They don't have to do anything. I'm telling you, you will be able to get that out here. I know so many people that do film festivals, but I never knew you wanted to do that. Send that note to me too.
Okay.
And write down what you can offer so I can. I'm gonna get you some stuff. All right. Now, what are your upcoming goals other than what we talked about? And
man. Interesting.
That's a lot. I know. A lot of stuff.
I really don't have any. I mean, I think it's more
goals. Are you married? Do you have children?
No. Bachelor.
Oh, that's good. So we can aspire to hook you up with. No. Actually, women, they will just bring you down. They will drag you down. They're too much work. Mates in general are so needy, whether it's male or female. Where are you going? Who are you texting? I need your password to your phone. Oh, were you in the bathroom texting? Oh my God. I don't even know how people are in relationships these days. A lot of it has to do with me watching, the reality television shows, the Day Fiance, where I swear, and everybody calls, oh, I'm looking for my soulmate.
Oh my God.
I hear that one more time. And now everybody's, oh, I'm looking for my king. I'm looking for my queen. It's just focus on your career, right?
Yeah. I think it's mostly just, when you focus on what you have going on, and I have so many things that I have going on that I'm, one of them have to pop, one of them have to, both of them might pop. And once they do pop, I think that's where the money starts flowing in and people start hiring you to come in to do, the MC and talk show and things like that. And that's where I want to be. I definitely want to be that. So be that guy.
So your ultimate goal, is it safe to say, is that my dream for you is that you get your own talk show
Yeah.
on one of the networks, right?
Yeah.
One of the networks. That's what my dream is for you. Um,
And also
is that
on the side of that too, to cook as well too.
okay?
So,
Or a maybe
or
a
both.
cooking show on the Food Network. Right? Okay. So I am going to be sending out all of the Irish energy and love
Thank
so that
you.
we can get that, because if you make it, then I get to bribe you into getting me Harry Styles. You might possibly be able to have him sit on my lap. You could get a piece of his clothing. You know how obsessed I am with this man. So your fame and fortune bodes well for me, because
Yeah.
I'm just asking for a little tiny meeting with Harry Styles. So or Louis Capaldi.
Louis Capaldi.
Yep. That's those are the two. Oh, Niall Horan. There you go. That's what
Okay.
I need from you. So
I
I
got
need
you.
you to work harder.
I will.
Well, I think we covered everything. And oh, by the way, how is our darling B? Because I know she was in the hospital. Is she out now?
I
How's
think
she?
she's in a recovery stage right now. She's recovering. Big shout out to Beatrice.
Oh, we
Prayers to
love.
her. Yeah. So she's I think she's in her recovery stage right now. So she's in a 14-day window of
Oh,
recovery.
I hope so. I cannot live without that woman. She
Yeah.
has just infused herself into my life, and I love it. It's like infusing or a tea, like a oolong tea, which I
Right.
love. And she's just the oolong infused tea now in my
Yeah.
life. And I just can't do without her. So,
Yeah.
what happened? Okay. Oh, the technical director just reminded me we did not play your video. We were going to end the show. Now we got to play his video before we end the show. But real quick, what happened with weren't you out here doing the Hollywood Magazine? Are you still doing that? Hollywood.
Big shout out to Giovanna Salas. We were actually, so I was doing that as a celebrity talk show host, and that was only for a year. We did that
Okay.
for a year and a few months.
Okay.
So I stopped that in the end of December.
That
But
was
we
for
still keep it.
Hollywood Magazine, right?
Yeah,
Hollywood
Heart
Mag.
of Hollywood. Yeah, Heart of Hollywood magazine. She's doing some great things, man. Doing some big stuff out there. And I'm proud of her. She's doing a lot of great stuff as far as for that. But I started doing so much stuff that I had to, go a different route. But we still keep in contact with each other. She's still good people's, still
Wonderful.
love what she's doing. So they're doing some really great stuff over there. Yeah, for sure.
Well, are you planning on coming back to LA
Yes.
anytime
We're
this
looking
year?
at next month. Next month. Next month
Next
I'll be in,
month?
in April. Yeah. I'll let you know.
I didn't know you were coming out here. What are you doing coming out here in April?
So I'm
What's
actually, it's crazy. I'm going out there to actually start networking with a lot of the people that was actually on my show. So I'm going out there to see Beverly Pomerantz.
Beverly? Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
she's at every party I have.
yeah,
Beverly and I are like thick as thieves. She
yeah,
comes to every event I have. Oh, you
yeah.
will love
So
her.
I
Okay.
definitely, yeah, we was at when we came out there before. We actually met Beverly Pomerantz and Brenda Cooper. The stylist for the nanny,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
show, the
yeah.
nanny.
For
Yeah,
Fran,
yeah.
right?
Right. Uh-huh. So we're coming out there because we're going to be setting up some time, and hopefully I'll be able to see you finally. Come out there to see
Yes.
you.
Well, I'm gonna text Beverly as soon as we get off of this interview, and
Yeah.
now I don't know
I'm
if
I'm gonna
she's
send you guys the
aware.
dates. I'll
I
send
don't
you the
think.
dates.
Yeah. I don't think she knows we know each other. I don't think she knows, because right now she's casting for remember Urkel from
Uh-huh. She told me
Urkel.
that.
Yeah, she's casting for that show. So I'm sending a couple people her way. And we her birthday either passed or is coming up. So we're going to be
It's
taking her out
fast.
to it passed. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
So we owe her a birthday dinner. So I'm going to see if she wants to get together, and maybe we can all do it together. We can have like a big, birthday thing, and then I can invite Ernest, and that way you can meet him and then deal with him directly about maybe coming and doing the cooking show at his house.
Nice.
There's lots of activity. You got to please remind me the dates, right?
I will.
This has got to happen. And how long are you staying out here?
4 days. I'll be there 3 to 4 days. Yep.
So you have every single day though booked?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. Let me know, because I got plans. Oh, my husband, he broke his wrist and his hand and his ulnar, so he's still driving, so I don't think it'll be a problem getting to wherever we're going, and we'll make it happen. All right, so we're gonna show some videos because we talked about your shows, and it's I forgot the video. Okay, so the first clip we're gonna show is for your cooking, for your regular talk show, Rico No Suave.
Yeah.
Then the second one is going to be for your cooking show. Now, there was a 2-minute video and a 3-minute. Did you want to show both or just one? And if so, which one?
I think one of them was for the cooking for cause, and I think the other one is just a regular cooking one that my team put together. So either one, it doesn't matter. You do all three if you wish.
Okay, we'll do all three. And then the last one is something that I saw on one of my 90 Day Fiance shows that's mentioning your name, which you're going to be shocked about. So I'm going to play that last. Okay. All right. So Albert, we're going to play all 3 video clips, starting with his talk show, and then play the 2 cooking shows, and then last play the clip from 90 Day Fiance that is mentioning Rico Suave. Rico.
We got to get out of here, but I want to thank you guys so much for being part of the show today. If you like it and you love it, that means you can share it. Until next time, everybody, I'll see you guys later. Welcome back to another great episode of Cooking with Rico Show. Smells so good. Sausage Town. Get saucy, baby. That is some beautiful pieces of chicken, I tell you. Oh, wow. Party in my mouth right now, everybody. Let's go. Boy, this is good. Welcome back to another great episode of Cooking with Rico. I am here with Purely Meats, and today we got something I want everybody, get your weapons out to the right of me. My man, Matt Ronan, you ready to do this?
I'm ready, man.
Here we go. I'm gonna add my seasoning as well. You know, it's really beautiful, bro. It's so good to, you know, that's why I like whispering to the meat.
I mean, to whisper.
It's like, it's okay, it's all right.
As
I rub it in, and then, you know, I really love the way that you look, right? So we're going to cook today some chicken Parmesan Pikata. Forget about it, right? Rectangle, there you go, I like that curry, yeah. Well, you good with those knives, man? You see what Perlita doing? Oh, she made a whole salmon. Okay, so, so you want to cut a little bit more, just there you go, mama. We got a nice little, you know, bring that up, let everybody know. There it is, okay. Season both sides. Welcome to just yeah, just massage it. Yes, massage it.
Can somebody do this to my back?
Oh, yeah. Just don't season her back with adobo. Chicken thighs, I think they're ready. Let's see how Greek it is. Woo, look at that, baby. Oh, look at those babies. All right. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. And let me know what you guys think. If you want me to cook something, just say, hey, Rico, cook something like this. Let's get it. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Hi, Rico Suave. Your dad is a nutcase. Yeah.
I like that. That was good. That was good. I like that.
Your dad is a nutcase. I wish he would have said no, Suave, but as soon as I heard it, I said, oh my God, I gotta put that on. Oh my God, Rico, that food you cook, my God, it's so beautiful. You are very good. I am the worst at plating. Plating is everything. It is so important. I mean, you can make a bunch of great food, but it's all in the plating.
Yes.
So, it's such variety. I mean, you cook Greek and you cook Italian and you cook Cajun and you cook, I don't know what it was where he almost set that woman's eyebrows aflame, but it looked like.
That was Saganaki.
Taganaki. There you go. Oh my gosh, your shows are so fun. I don't even know. I got to get over there and subscribe. People. Yep. You're so exciting. I don't know how you do it, but you're doing it. You're rocking, you're rolling, you're making it happen. And there is no question in my mind that you will be a famous something, either a famous chef or a famous talk show host or both. We gotta keep fighting.
Yes.
Right?
I will.
Right. Well, let me make sure that, and then follow up with me because we have got to make that happen. Let's go to subscribe go to the Rico No Suave Show, YouTube at Rico No Suave Show, YouTube Cooking with Rico Show, Cooking with the Rico. What the hell did I write? Cooking with Rico Show. Yeah.
That's correct.
Facebook, Rico Suave Show. Instagram, Rico Suave Show. Keeping it consistent. And Instagram, Cooking with Rico Show. I love it. You are doing everything right. There is nothing that I could even pinpoint or poke or think where I say, maybe he should do that. Nothing. You're doing everything right. You are on the Oriental Express.
Thank you. I
You are
appreciate
on
that.
the highway to heaven.
Thank you, love.
I don't know how many other things I can say, but you're gonna, don't worry that you're not doing it all. You're a very ambitious person. You got a lot of dreams, and you've made half or maybe over half come true already. And you got a great team. And I really think that it's just a matter of time, but it's coming soon.
Yes, thank you.
It's going to happen.
Thank
Rico
you.
no Suave.
That's right.
Priscilla all Suave says that you're going to make it. Thank you so much, Rico, for being on the
love.
show. God, I love you so much. This was supposed to be an hour show. What the hell did we do? 9 hours. So what's that? 2 hours and 13 minutes. Because I can't get enough of you, Rico no Suave, because you're all Suave.
Thank you,
It should be
love.
Rico all Suave. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a
Thank you,
great
love.
day. Give me my love, and we will make it happen. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, love. See you later. Bye, babes.
You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona. Priscilla Leona.